All right, welcome back to Flecka Sucks a Podcast, episode 231. Today on the show, DEI is done within the government. We're going to show you how some agencies are trying to sneak around this. Then we have a bunch of declassifications after Trump did a recent executive order. We're going to go over all of that. Then in Cringe of the Week, we have a service dog meltdown on the floor of Rite Aid you're not going to want to miss. And last but not least, a lady cop accidentally shot somebody with a gun again in Urban Decay. All this and more, it's Flecka Talks the Podcast, episode 231, ranked the best news podcast of all time!
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Flecka Talks the Podcast featuring Richard Grab.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, if you're like me, you grew up on beef jerky. It was a must-have, especially on a road trip. But have you ever looked into the ingredients they're putting in this stuff? Maltodextrin, MSG, synthetic nitrates, artificial flavors, tons of sugar, and allergens like ultra-processed soy and gluten. Not to mention the big companies get the lowest possible beef they can get their hands on. That's the dilemma. You need protein, but you don't need the chemical-laced globalist schlop they're trying to serve you. That's where Farmer Bill's comes in. Farmer Bill's is a rancher-owned meat processor in South Dakota that sells pasture-raised meat snacks, specifically biltong, which is like jerky but without the bad stuff. Just beef, apple cider vinegar, sea salt, toasted coriander, clove, and white and black pepper. That's it. You can try the 4-pack sampler of pre-sliced biltong, but I recommend the bestseller bundle, which includes the 4-pack and also a half-pound slab and 2 grass-fed tallow bombs, which are perfect for your dry, wintry skin. The pre-sliced biltong is perfect for protein on the go, and the half-pound slab is great for snacking around the house, charcuterie, hosting a party. It's basically a huge dry-aged ribeye that you can slice meat strips off of. It's fantastic. Grab Farmer Bill's bestseller bundle today. You get free shipping, and if you use code FLECKUS15 at checkout, you'll get an additional 15% off. FarmerBillsProvisions.com is the website. It's linked in the description as well. And last but not least, Farmer Bill is also a show watcher. So he supports us. Let's support him right back. And as always, if you guys show me that you made a purchase, I will follow you back on the social media of your choice. Thank you to Farmer Bill for sponsoring. Let's get into housekeeping.
Farmer Bill's Provisions, the perfect protein snack.
All right. Thank you to Farmer Bill for sponsoring.
Thank you, Farmer Bill.
We eat a ton of Farmer Bills.
That's true.
And it tastes so good and all different flavors. It's fantastic.
It's a good sponsor.
That
aligns with the show, I would say.
It really does. And he loves the show. He's an actual show watcher and he knows all the lore.
Good.
It's fantastic. All right. We have a very busy week. Obviously, Trump's first week in office. Lots going on, lots to cover. Do you want to get right into it?
Yeah, you don't get weeks like this often.
Trump's flooding the zone, they call it.
Yeah, that's the new word that it keeps getting thrown around by CNN, Vanity Fair. He's flooding the zone. No, you can't keep doing stuff. We need a week at a time to be mad at these things.
Yeah, we can't get mad over every little thing if you do all these things that we get mad at all at once.
So it's great. I mean, they're beleaguered. It's funny. We were talking about this too, how like you can watch Fox again now. Like there's just action all day. And it's not going to go like this forever for the entire administration. But there's action all day. Like there's new things happening. Every tweet is breaking. So
that's so true. And then obviously the cable news is probably happy Trump is back in because there's so much to talk about. Mm-hmm. But like we don't really watch Fox News or cable news at all. But I just kind of have it on in the background all day in case Trump comes on and does something.
Yeah, he can riff. He can riff at any time. He can call Sean Hannity, whatever. So,
all right, we got a lot to get to. Let's get right into it. It is Friday.
Yeah.
And
does that matter? I'm still confused. I'm on this show. I'm a member of it. It does not matter to me.
And then there's like a difference between Friday and Tuesday energy. Sometimes people say, but I don't notice it.
Yeah, I'm steady. So why are you bringing it up?
Well, I'm just reminding everyone to be happy. Okay. It's Friday.
Yeah.
All right.
Friday. Trump's in office. There's some good things. It's going well.
That's a little reminder.
It's freezing though. So
yeah, it's freezing everywhere.
Pros and cons.
Okay, our first story. Breaking: Trump signs executive orders to declassify JFK, RFK, and MLK files.
Which 2 letters then K file are you most excited about?
JFK.
Yeah, I would say so. RFK was the second leg of that. MLK, we kind of already know, was a little greasy.
It's going to be all deep state. It's going to be all FBI, CIA, Mossad type stuff. It's all deep state. And I've mentioned this on the show, especially in Bonus Land. I think we're going to find out from the JFK files that the shot that really got him, everyone thinks it was the second shooter, it was the driver.
The sleeve gun.
Well,
I believe you've
Jackie
mentioned.
O's sleeve gun is different.
Okay,
That was a bit.
okay.
But the shot I do think did come from the car, came from the driver. And he turns and blasts him. And then that film is edited. The film that we all see has been edited. So keep an eye out for that. If that gets proven true, I'm some sort of warlock or witch or wizard or whatever.
Losing me again. But he just signed it, so I don't know when it's going to actually declassify, but that'll be coming shortly. Promises made, promises kept type move.
And
that's an easy one.
That's an easy one, but it's also a risky one because the first time he saw it, he was going to declassify it, and then was it Pompeo that gave it to him?
Yeah.
And then he kind of looked at it and then didn't declassify it. So basically, Pompeo was the head of the CIA, correct? Mm-hmm. And then he showed him the JFK files that basically said the CIA killed him or the deep state killed him. And then they're like, "Do you want to release this?" And I think he was like, maybe not.
Yeah.
So good to see it's finally coming out. Let's see what actually happened there. Maybe they have the original footage.
Yep.
All right, next story, DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, has already saved $5.5 billion. That was as of a few days ago. I'm sure it's even higher now.
Yeah, they added this DOGE clock to like a website, the U.S. debt clock. So we have a long way to go. You're like, oh, let me see the DOGE clock. And then you're like, you look at the U.S. debt, and you're like, oh. So it's not exactly uplifting. I also want to see a deportation counter added to this.
Me too.
But good work. And Vivek is out.
Vivek is out, and it's good to see this being tallied up, and I like the transparency.
Yeah.
One of the things that they're doing is getting rid of pennies or getting rid of making pennies. Can you read that headline?
The penny costs over 3 cents to make and cost U.S. taxpayers over $179 million in fiscal year 2023. The Mint produced over 4.5 billion pennies in 2023, around 40% of the 11.4 billion coins for circulation produced. Penny or 3 cents for your thoughts. So, a losing proposition.
I throw pennies in the trash.
Yeah, I don't pick up pennies. I don't even pick up nickels. A dime, if there's something good next to it, I'll pick that up. But I really only bend down for quarters, and I've seen him throw away quarters. Empty his pockets.
Coins. Well, I try to keep quarters, but if I get like pennies and nickels and a receipt, it all goes in the trash. I'm glad to see the government following my lead.
And then also, yeah, they got it from you. And then also, like, if people really want pennies still, they obviously you can't do it if they cost more to make than they're valued. Just let the pennies in circulation go.
Yeah, people got them. We got them in buckets.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Well, we won't run out.
It's an easy cut for Doge, right? That's the thing, too. We've always said this. There's actually, the work is so easy. Yeah. It's just finding and identifying and going, oh, that's retarded. And we've been doing that for 10 years? Why? Let's cut it. So
exactly.
Not even hard.
Another thing that's happening, another change, 94% of federal employees do not show up to in-person work full time.
Yeah.
So Trump signed mandates requiring them to all return to work, which I'm sure will eventually lead to a lot of people getting their jobs cut, which is very much needed. But 94% of federal employees were working from home.
And people work from home and just move their mouse around, making $350,000 at Facebook. So imagine what they're doing at the lower stakes federal government jobs.
Oh, nothing.
Even worse. Yeah, they don't even bother to move the mouse. Nobody tracks. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good, people will quit or change jobs or they moved away. So it's a nice little downsizing thing for a government that wastes a lot of money, right?
Exactly. In our next story, there is now a one flag policy on all government buildings.
You made us do this. Trump State Department enacts one flag policy. Every U.S. outpost in the world must fly the USA flag, no BLM or pride flags per free beacon.
Good.
And you know what? Right-wingers, we never tried to insert anything. We just wanted to be normal.
Yeah.
It's all you. You guys did BLM and pride flags and stupid shit.
Trams.
We just wanted to be normal. So I'm glad he leveled the playing field here. And, you know, it's sad that, again, it's sad we even had to do anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. We have a busy housekeeping.
Okay.
So the next story is a New York Post headline and says it doesn't add up. Unions have driven spending to highest in the nation, $36,293 per student, yet our kids rank low in reading and math.
Yeah, that's for New York State, obviously, where the New York Post kind of focuses. And that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, especially when no one knows anything. And we know how it works. The parents don't care, so the kids don't care. So the teachers are dealing with kids who don't care. And then the parents aren't holding the kids accountable if they get in trouble or don't do their work. So the teachers just become babysitters.
The teachers become babysitters, and then it's the most powerful mafia-like babysitter union you've ever seen. You ever notice how teachers' unions are getting more powerful than ever? Like Chicago, for example, New York, big ones. And they're kind of like a mafia, and they actually like getting illegal immigrants because it keeps their student body population high, and they can keep demanding more money. And obviously, no results matter, you know?
No results matter. And then you would be surprised to hear this based on the most recent State of the State address from Kathy Hochul. There was an event, State of the State, where she's kind of going over how everyone's doing, and this is what was going on there. We had to get rid of the music because it was copywritten, but this is Governor Hochul's State of the State address. Everyone's dancing around, everyone's old and in suits.
It's a senior citizen dance group who plays at WNBA games, and Governor Hochul said, why not?
Yeah.
Bring them in.
Bring them in. So the kids can't read, and it costs more than ever to not teach them anything, but you're also prioritizing and focusing on this.
Yeah, we got the Make-A-Wish dance troupe in here, so that's at least good. What did that cost?
Yeah, feels good. We have another story. It's kind of migrant related. We have a migrant section further in housekeeping, but I wanted to touch it here while we were doing the schools. Fairfax County had an update about their budget. It seems like they're in, what's it called when you run out of money? Deficit.
Yeah.
Can you read the headline?
Fairfax County, Virginia is facing a $300 million budget deficit after its schools spent $142 million teaching migrant children English last year, up 50% from a few years prior. Consultants have now been hired to ask if people would rather have police, fire, or parks cut to resolve the deficit. So Fairfax County, Virginia, they spent all the money teaching illegals how to speak probably broken English. And now you have to decide firemen, police, or parks. Which one needs to go?
And it's crazy how no one could just be honest.
Yeah.
You know, we're in a deficit. What should we do? Should we cut the police department? No. The fire department? No. Like, I could be a consultant, come in and go, hey, I can get rid of half this deficit if we just don't do this migrant kid shit.
Yeah. It's actually really simple.
Where do I get my check?
So
I think it's the best idea.
So, hey, I know I'm just a consultant. I just got here, but any healthy society ever, they wouldn't spend all their money on stupid shit like this. And all the basic services are, well, I mean, we've reiterated this so many times. Cities and counties and municipalities are getting so far away from the basic services that you have to cut the basic services because Joe Biden brought 10 million illegals here.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ruins everything. And then this next article, can you give that a read?
Yeah, schools aren't off limits for ICE raids, Trump's Department of Homeland Security says. An Obama-linked progressive group urged schools to defy ICE because the more illegal immigrants a school has, the more taxpayer money it gets.
That's done.
That's one of those perverse incentives things, like teachers union and schools, like they get their funding by the kids. So like any administrator would be like, oh, we just let in 35 more illegals. Like our budget goes up, right? Mm-hmm. Perverse incentives, and someone needs to be the adult in the room. And
same thing happened with the vaccine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you get this for every person in a hospital bed, every COVID case, every vaccine you give, you get a little bonus.
Yep.
And people kind of forget what they're doing, and they're just motivated by the money. All right, moving on, something kind of related to that. Like we said in the intro, DEI is done as of this week. One of the people who are now kicked out because of it is Sergeant Deb. What's her name?
The Commandant of the U.S. Coast Guard, Linda Fagan, has been terminated over her failure to address border security and her excessive focus on DEI.
At ease, Sergeant Deb, you're done.
Yeah. And at least she had a normal haircut. She could have had one of those LA fire leadership haircuts.
Yeah.
But she was trying to blend in. And here's an interesting point I want to make about this. This is Coast Guard, right? So the Coast Guard is obviously involved somewhat in our borders and maintaining our maritime borders specifically. And this is kind of an excuse for the new administration to hire anybody or to fire anybody who they don't want. Like, I was kind of told to stand down, or we weren't running these operations. It's like, okay, you didn't think that was part of it? You're fucking fired, right?
Bye.
Bye, Deb.
Exactly. And then the ATF had a similar thing where they're shutting down their DEI department But to get around it and not fire people, they got a little sneaky.
Yeah.
So can you read that headline?
The ATF was caught rebranding their chief diversity officer to chief officer to circumvent President Trump's order. So obviously Trump did that order, dismantling all federal DEI. And here she is, Lisa T. Boykin, chief diversity officer. And then, the next week, she's just a senior executive.
She's just a senior executive.
Let me keep my, and what does someone like that make?
A lot.
300?
Caught you.
Caught you.
Everyone's getting fired, and hopefully all the show-watching government officials can get leads on these people now.
And it's ironic because DEI, like, how many times have you seen DEI advertised by, like, a private company or the government, or, like, this is what we're doing to make things equal? And then none of those companies ever really advertise like business units in their company. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they'll advertise products, but they'll never advertise like, here's the sales team.
Yeah.
But they will do it for DEI. And so the fact that they were trying to spread it is going to end up catching them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They were loud and proud about it.
They were loud and proud, and now we're in charge, and they probably thought they were going to be in charge forever.
Yeah.
And here we are, tables turned. Next, this woman made a video about how going after DEI isn't going to end the way you think.
Y'all could take DEI out of everything employment-wise. We're still the most educated in the country.
Wow, the most educated.
That's awesome for you. You'll get the best jobs and the highest paying and the most responsibility, right?
Yeah, and they only give college degrees to smart people, right?
Yeah, they don't just churn out $30,000 a year diploma mills for retards who are drinking and stuff, right?
So I originally made this list of things black people are the most educated in, but it ended up being more racist than funny.
Okay.
So I'm just going to read it normal. These aren't my words. It's just what's written here. Again, this is an abandoned bit.
Okay.
But they're the most educated in how to operate in the parole system. But that's actually not even true because they're constantly getting in trouble with their parole officers.
Okay. All right. This is why it's a failed bit.
Yeah.
It's not really on the show.
They're most educated in how to miss your target with a full auto Glock.
Okay. That's easy. Yeah.
They're the most educated in how to get in a fight over something said on Facebook Live.
Okay.
See, that's just rude. You don't need to put that in there.
That's true.
They're most educated in how to buy hot Cheetos with EBT. It's not even creative.
Yeah. You got lazy. That's why it's a failed bit.
And then the most educated in how to shoot someone at a fast food restaurant over ranch. Okay, that one's true.
Yeah.
And then the last one, they're most educated in the chase money glitch and having expired tags on a Nissan Altima with illegal tinted windows. See, that's why it didn't make it into the segment.
For sure.
That's why it was a scrap segment, cutting room floor.
Hey, you're a better man than me. I would have rattled those off. No fear.
All right, next.
But isn't that so funny? Like, we're the most educated in what? The most low-paying, dumb, social justice type degrees you've ever heard of in your life? Like, obviously, you guys needed DEI, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, a lot of high-paying jobs were just lost because of that. So, and high-paying jobs that, at the federal level, that's you paying for it.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, enjoy your life, Stu. I'm sure you'll find something in the private sector earning $500K a year with benefits, right?
Exactly. Next, there was an executive order that was revoked by Trump from LBJ. Can you give that headline a read?
Yeah, an old one. Trump just revoked Executive Order 1124-6, signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1965, which basically established government affirmative action.
That's good. Get rid of that.
And another part of it was it prohibits federal contractors and federally assisted construction contractors and subcontractors from discriminating in employment decisions on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, and it requires those contractors to take affirmative action to ensure that applicants are employed. And basically, Trump's just saying we want merit-based, because what happens when you take affirmative action? You overlook some of the best candidates because they're a white guy or a white lady.
Exactly. And then our next story.
Which that's a big one, because nobody thought he'd go that far back. If a Lyndon B. Johnson executive order lasted all these years, we've had a bunch of Republicans. Nobody thought he'd touch it, but he did.
Exactly. Very nice. And then our last story for this segment, Trump orders blackout at CDC, FDA, NIH as health agencies prepare for MAGA bloodbath.
Yeah, so basically he's not letting them sneak out any studies or warnings or alarm bells, right? He's just kind of saying, shut up until we get our people in. You're done.
Exactly. All right, our next part of housekeeping. We have a few stories here. The first one is from a pastor who had God speak to him directly, and this is the message he said.
MAGA. So a man goes to the bathroom and he poops in the bathroom. There's no toilet paper. And so to clean himself, he uses his hand because there's nothing else. So he cleans himself with his hand. Now, he doesn't want to do it. Then he gets up from pooping and he doesn't clean his hands. Then he goes and gets in bed with his wife and he begins to touch her. He begins to wrap his hands and arms around his wife. The unclean, pooped on hands, he wraps around his wife. And he doesn't ever wash his hands. Well, the Lord said to me this morning in prayer that that's what MAGA is. They know that Trump is poop. They know it. They know that Trump is a diarrhea poop. They know Trump is poop. And they put their hands
Pooped on hands? God talked to you about this?
You and God have private discussions about poop? That's what you guys are talking about? That's what you're up to?
It's weird that God saved Trump's life from the assassination attempt and then I guess changed his mind. He was like, actually, he's more of a poop on your hands in the bed with your wife kind of guy.
He saves you there, and then let me tell you about the poopy hands situation with your wife back into bed. It's actually the Indian street vendor in Mumbai that this guy's thinking of, I think. He's confused.
He's confused about the illegal migrants that are here in New York who don't wash their hands and serve you, what are those? Not chinchillas, the guinea pigs.
There you go.
All right, next, Elliot Page. Bad news for Elliot Page. Elliot Page now has 30 days to transition back to Ellen Page or face prison.
Yeah, and it's Guantanamo. It's federal prison like
Trump's America, baby.
I mean, you had your fun for a few years, and you got to go back.
Yep, Trump's in charge. That's how we do it. All right, our next piece is from Emetic Sisyphus. A lot of people are talking about empathy now because Trump's in power and the Democrats and leftists are saying there's no empathy and Trump lacks empathy and the right's all psychotic. Can you read the original tweet and Emetic Sisyphus's reply?
Well, some guy said the woke mind virus is literally just empathy. That's it. It's empathy. And Memetic Sisyphus said, empathy is the ability to model someone else's emotions and thoughts and predict how they would act. There is no one worse at this than the left. What they do is imagine everyone in the world is exactly like they are and then react accordingly. Guy crying? Well, he's like me, so we should stop whatever is making him cry. Thief? Probably just trying to feed his family. That's the only reason I'd steal. Conservative? He must be evil because I think conservative politics are evil, which means he's choosing to be evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's...
It all goes one way.
And we've talked about this before, which is empathy for some foreigner who's never been here, but no empathy for like your neighbor or countryman who's kind of watched factory jobs get shipped away and his town hollowed out and then Haitians dumped in there, right?
Yeah.
No empathy for him. He can handle it, right? America's rich and strong.
Empathy for the migrants who don't fit in socially and can't from third world countries, but you give them the best intentions, even though they're doing crimes and like sexually assaulting people. But then your average American who's on the right, you have to paint them as like a foreign monster. They have the whole thing backwards.
Yeah, and you know what? My ideal for the Trump administration is empathy for the American taxpayer. And that's a distinction. There's Americans, and then there's the American taxpayer. And a lot of Americans, they coast off the American taxpayer too. So
very true.
No.
All right, our next clip is Trump talking about the Biden pardons, and listen to what he says at the end.
This guy went around giving everybody pardons. And the funny thing, maybe the sad thing, is he didn't give himself a pardon. And if you look at it, it all had to do with him.
That's very interesting.
Tipping his hand at something there?
Maybe Joe Biden thought he'd get off the hook because he left Trump that nice note in the desk.
Yeah, that nice 2-paragraph note that basically wasn't even personalized. Yeah. Good luck, Joe.
Good luck, Joe.
Maybe you should have done it.
And we all remember 2016, lock her up, and we didn't do it. And then they stole it in 2020 and took the country and tried to destroy it. And from the grace of God, we got it back. Now this time, I think it's time to lock her and him up.
Yeah. Trump's pardon for, I don't even know if I really agree with that, but Trump's pardon for himself at the end of this term is going to go fucking crazy.
That would be lit.
It's going to be from birth till exactly this minute, anything. So,
all right, let's get into our migrant section. There's obviously a lot going on there. Can you read that headline?
Well, this was from January 22nd, so
3 days ago.
It was just the first day post Trump's inauguration. ICE arrested 308 illegal migrants on Trump's first day in office. Borders are, Tom Homan says.
That's good, but
we need to get those up.
Yeah, we're like 300,000 days. Everyone goes home.
Start doing some quick math. You go, that's only going to get 500,000 done over 4 years.
Not a lot.
And so another thing that we've talked about on the show a lot is that distinction between criminal illegals, and that's obviously who they're going after first. People who are felons, people who commit crimes, people who've been released by sanctuary city police. But another way to do it without actually deporting them is absolutely strangling them, e-verify, like cutting out how they make money and stuff. So it's going to be a two-prong. I'm letting them cook for a while before I go, I'm unhappy with this or I am happy with this.
There'll be a lot of self-deportations too, so yeah.
Stephen Miller's fighting hard to absolutely deport a lot of people.
I like Stephen Miller, so...
We'll see. We got to give him time to cook, right?
We're optimistic, let him cook. One of the people who got sent back was this guy from Haiti.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
The violent Haitian criminal illegal is thanking Obama and Biden.
After doing 17 felonies, and that's the ones he got caught for.
Yeah, so that like an
Probably
iceberg.
50.
Like an iceberg, there's always more felonies underneath.
And then Joe Biden forever, thanks to Obama for everything he did for me. It's like, dog, this is not good branding for what's going on right now.
Don't talk about me. Horrible optics. But I mean, that's good. That's who we start with. Those kind of like rabid animal types. And he's like, I'm not going back to Haiti. It's like, yes, you are.
Yeah.
We will dump you at the shores of Haiti.
This next clip is some sort of border wall, barbed wire, truck spicy slinky thing. Look at that.
We need this.
Let's order more of this.
Yeah. I think this might be in China. This looks like you see those guys?
Oh, they look Chinese.
This might be Chinese, but I think it's time to call in a few of our own.
Yeah, let's place an order and let's get some of that over here. The trucks, just load them out.
Barbed wire trucks and buses, guys. We need them.
All right, our next story, birthright citizenship was overturned by Trump. That's great news.
Well, it's overturned. It's since been blocked by a judge. This is the type of executive order that's just destined for the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's something we've talked about on the show where it's, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof is the important distinction. So that's going to get litigated with a majority conservative Supreme Court.
Yep.
And so this guy said Trump's new executive order would unconstitutionally bar citizenship to 1 in every 13 babies born in the U.S. That's a staggering number of people.
And he's saying that trying to get like some emotions riled up and to like make you feel bad. But why are 1 in 13 people born in the U.S.?
You just gave it away. You're telling me almost 10% of babies born in the U.S. are just not American and random from H-1B and migrants and whoever can overstay their visa?
Caught you.
Yeah. So I really hope that it's litigated in our favor. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a great legal mind. I don't know the propensity of the Supreme Court justices on this issue, but having a Chinese woman jump across the border, give birth here, was not what the 14th Amendment was made for. Yeah. That's not what, nobody ever discussed that. So we'll see how it's.
And then as long as you get within the lines, you're a country too.
1 inch here, U.S. 2 inches over there, you're in Mexico. Not our problem. Like that's never what it was supposed to be. And we'll obviously watch it get litigated over the next 18 months, 12 months. I don't know.
Yep. And then our next story is that the Spanish version of the White House webpage is now not available.
The White House government website, the Spanish version, cannot be found anymore. And in this little box that takes you to the homepage, the words that they chose to use are "go home."
That's pretty good.
It's called a happy accident, or Stephen Miller is deep in the weeds on these decisions.
Stephen Miller is doing bits. He's planting Easter eggs for us. We read you loud and clear, Steve.
Stephen, I'm standing back and standing by. You need me at the border?
Go home.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And then Trump also declared that the cartels are now foreign terrorist organizations, which is good. But that could escalate some things as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then somebody quote tweeted this after Trump made that executive order. And he said, "Hope Americans are ready for the massive amount of retaliatory hits. Every single white tourist across all of Latin America is going to be fair game. Bombings and kidnappings will become monthly occurrences in major southwestern cities." So we really should declare war on you and not have you in our country. An immediate threat to violence?
We're not going to not do it because we're scared of how violent and crazy you are.
Is that what, does the U.S. just listen to Mexican threats all the time? Is that how our lives are?
Sicario maxing coming our way.
Yeah.
And next we have a video here. Mexicans protest Trump at U.S. Embassy in Mexico City. So they're hitting the pinata Trump effigy? Is that what that's called?
Basically, pinata effigy. And they put Trump in the Adidas Sambas. Not consistent with what I've seen from Trump.
Never seen him anything like that. But then they're also doing this, and it's like, this is who we were about to let in?
Yeah, I guess.
This is who comes here, and now that they're not coming here, this is how they act?
Mexicans in Mexico lashing out about the U.S. president. It feels good, right?
Yeah, it does.
These people would otherwise be steamrolling our weak former administration. And it's like, oh, I'd be pissed if I didn't have a free ride anymore, too.
Yeah.
So I get it, but it's just our self-interest versus their self-interest, and I side with Americans.
Those days are done.
Yeah.
Let's get into some Indian stuff.
Yeah, the Indian debate is still raging from the H-1B the great H-1B Christmas battle of 2024. And again, something we just saw with the Trump effigies and then the Mexican threats after declaring cartel violence is there's this air of entitlement amongst certain migrant factions. And I'm seeing that on the Mexican side, and I'm also seeing it a little bit on the Indian side. So we're going to go through a tweet because it's still being litigated, fought out on Twitter, and a lot of Indian people who are self-interested are doing it. Which I understand. I get it, right? But I don't really look for your opinion when I'm determining who's an American or who is a permanent resident, right? So this guy goes, righties seem very happy at this, but there is a very real sense of confusion and betrayal felt by Indians. The point being that we worked hard and played by the rules and for some reason are still hated. And that was regarding the birthright citizenship thing, which is going to affect a lot of people who had kids and all that. And then he replies to his own tweet saying, we are small right now, but the diaspora will only get larger and more politically conscious as time goes on. You keep this up and Democrats stand to benefit greatly.
There they go with the threats again.
And it's like his first thing starts off with seem to be we're hated. And then he spells out exactly why we don't want unlimited Indian immigration. Our diaspora is going to become politically significant. We're going to be a ethnic voting bloc who all votes the same way. So you just admitted why we should not like you strategically. It has nothing to do with hate. It has everything to do with like not just allowing someone to come and hold our politics hostage, right?
Yeah.
And then you also have how many billion of people in India?
Yeah.
So gates are closed, brother.
Exactly. It's smart to not want incompatible people here that don't share our language, religion, or values. And we're not saying that because we're hateful or mean. Mean is when we make fun of you guys for smelling like shit and pooping on the ground.
Yeah, mean. And you can find that online too. But when we're talking about immigration debate, like we don't need a new ethnic bloc who's looking to swing their weight around politically in the U.S. Like we're good, right?
Yeah. And then our next clip is another example of Indians stealing opportunities from people. So here they go. They're doing a Guinness World Record.
That turban's helping him.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Can you read what the caption says?
This is the Guinness World Record for most ice blocks broken with a hammer in a bed of nails sandwich in 1 minute, blindfolded. And it's 19 by Burr Khalsa.
So they broke the record for most ice smash on a bed of nails head sandwich, and the winners are wearing a turban?
That feels cheap.
Well, yeah. What happened to the previous record holder who had the most ice broken on a bed of nails sandwich with your head that didn't wear a turban?
Yeah. What about him? Probably named John Smith. Probably a white American guy.
And he probably has like marks on his head still, but they have a turban and that protects him, and then everyone is so empathetic that they can't be honest and go, hey, I think the bed of nails head sandwich is not the same for the other guy because these people are wearing turbans. But then they're going to be like, oh, you want them to take off their religious garb? And no, just do it.
Yeah.
And they probably cheated. They probably have metal in there.
Exactly.
So this is really what makes me mad. That should have been the first story of this show, actually.
For sure.
All right. That is the end of that page of housekeeping. We're getting to the final page of housekeeping where I can say whatever I want. Before we get there, make sure you tickle the post, help us juice the algo, leave a like, leave a comment again, then start yapping about what you want to yap about. P.O. Box needs to be full. Notifications need to be on. Old episodes need to be watched. Sure. Thank you, guys. All right, final page of housekeeping. This guy did an undercover report, I believe, in the desert near San Diego by the Mexican border. and he's with James O'Keefe's team. And listen to what he said.
I was out with OMG with James O'Keefe in the California desert, and April was out there too. And she's really good at finding stuff on the ground. She finds money, all this other stuff. She found an unlocked phone from a Syrian man when we happened to have a guy from Iraq on the crew with us who spoke Arabic. And we're going through this phone. There's Telegram, voice messages. There's all this stuff. Calls are coming. We charged the phone because it was dead. Calls are coming in. They're still going, hey, are you here? Have you gotten to San Diego yet? And I ran this by one of my good buddies who's high speed military guy. And he goes, dude, that's a cell. So basically there was this guy that kept calling teacher who was in Turkey. And these were Syrian men going, teacher, where do we go now? We're trying to get close to San Diego. And they go, okay, this guy's going to take you here. This guy knows Spanish and Arabic. So you're going to meet up with this guy. Try to get to San Diego as fast as you can.
Terror cell?
Terror cell on the border.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a lot of those here.
Classic.
Keep your head on a swivel, especially in San Diego.
Yeah,
but they're going to derail Trump, and I think one of their arms to do that is going to be Muslim extremist terrorism amped up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We've called it before lone wolf season. It's definitely lone wolf season or small growth season. And all this stuff is on a delayed timer, right? Like people who just got into the country over the last 36 months, say, they're getting ready to do what they're doing. Like Trump has stopped the faucet, but all that water that got in already is still up to something not good.
Exactly. All right, our next story is about Pidgin English. And what country is Pidgin again?
I don't know. It's like Nigerian, it's Islander, it's some weird mix of language between merchants.
Yeah, so Pidgin English, BBC News Pidgin is a real thing. I follow them on Instagram. I thought it was a bit. Yeah. I have a couple of their headlines, and then we're going to show you a clip and make our own Pidgin headline.
All right. Cat we hope to be like lion, no supposed chase rat.
What do you think that means?
I don't know. It looks like the cat wanted to be like a lion, but
he's not supposed to chase a rat?
Yeah.
I think a lion isn't above that.
I don't know.
All right. All zebra get the same color. No means say dia pickin' no go sabi who I'm a mama be.
I think that means all zebras get their stripes regardless of who they're born to, who the mama be.
Who the mama be?
The mama be? That's what I would say. That's what I'm keying it on.
That sounds good. And then next we have this clip of birds mating.
Okay.
So there they go. Okay.
You get it?
So my Pidgin headline for this is, the birds, they cluck on each other and go see who like who.
I think you're halfway to being an editor of BBC Pidgin.
They would hire me. They wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That was good.
They see who like who.
They would notice, but American people or regular English speakers would go, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
You trick me. You trick, me and you.
I kind of talk in Pidgin naturally.
Yeah, two
Sometimes
stew.
when I'm cooked, I'm too stew.
Yeah.
Okay, our next clips are about AI. Larry Ellison, a billionaire Trump supporter who's kind of like part of the tech New World Order types if things go bad.
He's an Oracle founder.
Here's what he said about AI and surveillance.
The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. And it's unimpeachable. The cars have cameras on them. I think we have a squad car here someplace. But those kind of applications using AI, if we can use AI, and we're using AI to monitor the video. So if that altercation that occurred in Memphis, the chief of police would be immediately notified.
So I think that there is a world where the right wing ushers in the AI surveillance state, unfortunately, because part of the AI surveillance state will be delivered under the guise of, we got to get all the illegals out.
Crime and illegals.
We got to get the crime and the illegals. We don't know who's who, but if we have an AI surveillance state, we can kind of find out where all these people are. The right wing could potentially champion that, and I hope we don't. We shouldn't. But these guys are also talking about AI mRNA vaccines this week.
Yeah, Larry Ellison was about like targeting a specific type of cancer and stuff like that.
Which is it's weird, but obviously nothing's out of the question. But when you hear that, the good news is the entire right wing, who's based in MAGA, we don't like AI mRNA. We don't like the word mRNA.
Yeah.
We hear that and we go, you're doing this again. So the fact that they didn't rebrand it or call it something else or like use some different words and trying to soften it but trick us that it's mRNA again, the fact that they're just saying AI mRNA cancer vaccine, you're not going to get any support. So it's almost like dead on arrival in a way.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I was going to say, or you got to really cure a bunch of people's cancer and then be undeniable. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't have faith. I don't know enough about that. It's kind of like the same thing as the Supreme Court litigation earlier. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Skepticism is the leading.
Make sure we all reject that, though. We don't want AI surveillance state, no matter what it'll do for us.
For sure.
Next, we have a home drone for personal security.
Drone goes around the house and then he goes back to his little docking station.
So this is a Ring drone, and apparently when you leave, it flies around your house and does surveillance.
It's like a security guard. He patrols the house.
Yeah, and he's probably made in China, and all the data is probably kept on Chinese clouds.
Yeah. And
don't worry about that part.
They 3D map your house. All that shit.
Okay, next, this is just a post I saw online. There is a part of Antarctica where there's a mountain range that is blurred out.
The Queen Elizabeth mountain range is blurred out on Google Earth.
Just want to put that out there.
Okay.
And it's very sketchy. We all know what goes on in Antarctica. Very sketchy. They blurred some parts out. Very strange. Next, there's a doppelganger, even though we don't do doppels anymore. These people do a podcast, and they look like us a little bit.
Yeah. The guy's wearing glasses. This guy looks like you, but he's sloppier.
Thank you.
You could roll that guy. You would roll him.
That's what I'm talking about.
And
That's why
me fighting this guy would be pretty even, actually. I'm worried.
He's got tattoos.
Tattoos don't mean anything anymore. Skinny pussies get tattoos. I'm kind of anti-tattoo.
The Zoomer broccoli hair kids are now getting all tatted up, and they're doing like lip syncing videos with each other.
You got a sleeve.
I could beat up the whole crew.
Yeah, tattoos are kind of meaningless now. I think at least.
Exactly.
It's gotten oversaturated. There was a moment where it was edgy but acceptable, and then it flipped, and now it's like, okay, you're trying to be tough. That's what this is all about. That's what I see tattoos as.
Me too. All right, well, that's the end of housekeeping. Before we get into Cringe of the Week, we do have a little bit of announcement. There wasn't obviously a public show on Tuesday, but we did do an Inauguration Day special for Bonus Land, so go check that out. If you're not a Bonus Land member, please sign up. But there is not going to be a Bonus Land today because I am horribly sick. My stomach hurts so bad. I think it's from keto OMAD. But my stomach, I don't even want to describe what's going on.
You've been playing hurt a lot.
I've been playing hurt. Got the dog attack. I had the stiff neck. And now I have like these stomach things, and it's just like this, and it's just like my guts.
All right.
And I think part of it scientifically, to wrap it all up, when you do keto OMAD and you burn fat, a lot of your toxins are stored in your fat. So when you burn that fat, it gets dumped back into your stomach, and then your body tries to get rid of it. But I'm assuming by explosive diarrhea, or it gets redistributed in your body. So part of the toxins problem is probably coming from the fat in my body that I'm burning because I'm on keto OMAD.
Sounds like you have a very loose understanding of the basic human process.
But that's all true, what I said.
Sure, maybe.
No, it is.
We'll never know.
No, it is true. Everyone knows that. If you're anyone involved in science, you know where the toxins store in your body. A lot of it does store in your body fat.
Sure.
All right, we're moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, welcome to Cringe. We are.
You never say that.
I don't.
All right, welcome to Cringe.
Whatever.
All right.
Well,
you lost it.
Maybe a little.
You're playing hurt.
We're gonna go long today.
Yeah, we are.
Because there's no bonus land, we're going to go an extra like 10, 15 minutes. Okay. All good. Longer episode feels good.
Welcome to Cringe.
Yep, welcome to Cringe. Trans person declares war on MAGA.
And look at the name he chose for herself.
Hello, my name is Scarlett Kelly, and I am officially declaring war on the Republican Party. If you are a Republican on TikTok and you want to interact with me, you deserve to die. You deserve to be shot. You deserve whatever suffering could possibly come to you. If you are a Republican and try to start any of that kind of nonsense with me in person, you will lose your life. This is war.
Trans threats.
More trans threats. Another case of the least physically capable people calling for the most violence.
Yeah.
We want to go to war. You're done. Do you have any guns? No. Do you know how to work weapons and organize? No. All right.
Have you ever fought someone? We'll even go lower. We're not even going to death.
Have you ever knocked someone out?
Yeah. Have you ever withstood a hit of any kind? No? You chose Scarlet as your name? Okay. Thank you, Scarlet.
Yeah. We'll see you out there. We're going to go kind of speed round because there's another trans situation here. Let this one play. This is a Minnesota House rep.
State rep, yeah.
State rep, yeah.
Whose house is this? Whose house is this? You chicken meatball-headed motherfucker. Whose house is this? Whose house is this? Whose house is this? Yeah, go ahead and kick me out. It'll be on every fucking news organization in the country. I'm done with this shit. You do not have quorum. You are not allowed to do this. And you know it. You're not just going to...
Yeah, some people are calling him Trans Uncle Buck.
That was me. I was calling him Trans Uncle Buck. That big giant overcoat, 350 pounds approximately, some real John Candy in 1998 shit.
Yeah, with like a Sam Kinison attitude.
Exactly.
And then also later in this clip, he mentions that trans people need to be allowed to have sex with straight people without telling them they're trans.
That's a winning policy, brother.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that, brother.
Trump got elected, so it's time to push that one. And then also this, when someone says the phrase community organizer, this is what I think of.
Mm-hmm.
Like some fat, ugly yelling in the state house. That's what I think of. And this person is like that, like a professional protester type, and then got elected somewhere, like in a liberal area of Minneapolis, got elected to actually represent people, and then still just party crashes protests. You know, it's like you're in it. You can form policy. And if you can't get it done, then you go, okay, maybe next year, or maybe next time, or I'll politic a little harder. But no, they just revert to the community organizer way, which is yelling at a bullhorn. Right?
Trans Uncle Buck.
Trans Uncle Buck. Thank you, John Candy.
That might be
John Candy's still alive.
That might be the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm not done here. I want to cook a little bit more. So we've said that that the media and leftists and people are getting a little fatigued and they don't have that fight in them anymore. During the second Trump administration, obviously we've worn them out. They're tired. You can't keep going. Some of them have even aged out. Except trans guys. Men who say they're trans, I think they still have that fight. They were crazy before. They were crazy throughout the Biden administration, but they felt like they were getting some, this is for me? Like,
They're on the White House lawn taking their shirt off.
I got invited. Kamala wants to take a picture with me. But I think that's the one caveat is they're still crazy. They're still absolute lunatics. So watch out.
Lots to see from them, and they're more mad than ever.
Exactly.
Next is the meltdown, the anxiety support dog meltdown on the Rite Aid floor in the diaper section.
Floor until she tells me I can get up.
Can you pause it real quick? So the thing she says right off the bat, it gets kind of cut off, but she says, I'm on the floor until she tells me I can get up.
Can I get up? Crackle. Focus. Please don't do that. She is a working service dog. Distracting a service dog is a class 2 misdemeanor in this state. Focus.
I didn't mean to chew my ass either.
Yeah, well, she's currently working, and distracting her is a class 2 misdemeanor. Focus. Focus. Good. Oh, I hate advocating.
So you forfeited your agency to a food-motivated husky.
Yeah.
Because they say it's a service dog, but service dogs don't need treats like that, and they don't need to be rewarded for like focus and whatever their job is. They just work. Mm-hmm. So it's not even a real service dog. And feeding the service dog treats like that, it's not a real service dog.
Yeah. And then this girl, it's the victim thing where it's talking about she can't get off the floor because of anxiety. You know what an anxious person does when they get into like a crowded, loud, too active store? They go, oh God, and they turn around and they go wait in the car. They go, stupid, stupid, stupid. I couldn't do it again.
And their palms get sweaty and they kind of just like...
Yeah. They break down.
Yeah.
But she sets up a cell phone, lays in like an area of the store, drawing so much attention, and then verbally accosts a man for making a sound at the dog. So she's like, dog, tell me if I'm okay. You, stop doing that. It's me, I'm filming. Like she's doing all this stuff that a socially anxious person could never do.
She's entirely on offense and delegating.
Exactly.
Like,
You, shut up.
And then at the end, she remembers, I forgot. I'm really sad from this.
Start doing the fake deep breaths.
Setting up the camera.
Fake anxiety, fake service dog. All this shit's just for attention and like getting your dog into the movie theater.
Yeah.
It's really an epidemic.
And she canceled your vote.
Yeah, she canceled mine. That was me. I'll take that one. I'll eat that one.
Yeah. Okay, next, this person has a BIPOC. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
A BIPOC song.
Black and indigenous people of color. Black and indigenous people of color. Lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, and queer. Lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, and queer. Asian American Pacific Islander. Asian American Pacific Islander. Latino, Hispanic, Romani, and Creole. Latino, Hispanic, Romani, and Creole. We all have a place in this world. We all have a place in this world.
Which I agree with.
Yeah.
We all have a place in this world. Why do we need to bring everyone here?
Exactly. She's anti-immigration? Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, I think so.
Remain in Mexico? Is that her policy?
It makes you wonder, has multiculturalism ever been promoted in a non-white majority country? Not even close. And she doesn't even mention white people in that, so it's everyone but that.
Of course.
But where's your place? Where you were born. That's your place. Where's our place? Where we were born. Why do we have to bring everyone from your place to our place?
I kind of like this song.
Me too.
I'm gonna blast this. I'm gonna rip this to an MP4, put it on my phone, play it on the loudspeakers.
Yeah.
You know.
But everyone has a place in the world, so everyone should stay where they were born.
This is the type of white woman who treats all these minorities like her little pets. Like, I'm gonna do a song to help you. You're so stupid. You can't do it yourself.
You're useless without me. I'm going to save you because I'm white and I'm able to.
That energy is so bad. But hey, I don't know. Song kind of slapped. I kind of liked it. I might be singing that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. All right, our next little segment within Cringe is fashion related. So this first one is a Japanese designer, I believe.
This fashion designer is considered the most controversial of all times. Karo Kushinpo is renowned for challenging conventional fashion norms with his unique creations. He explores the themes of displacement and alienation by using unique construction techniques to create avant-garde garments that blur the lines between fashion and art.
Weird dumper baby shirt.
Yeah, you could use that. Diaper boy? Aren't they calling you diaper boy?
They don't call me diaper boy.
Everybody calling you that?
No, I haven't
Everybody
heard
in
that.
this room is calling you diaper boy.
Right now,
Yeah.
it seems to be.
I've never heard a smoke alarm chirp on an Asian video.
Yeah, it happens everywhere. And then our next one, speaking of fashion mistakes, this guy's shirt says, "Kill your local pedophile," but because it's a hoodie, the hood covers the kill, so it just says, "Your local pedophile."
So he's your local pedophile. De facto, if I'm just looking, I'm at Chipotle, I'm like, oh, my local, that's him? That's him? I'll mark him on the app.
Yeah, so a little bit of a mistake there, a marketing mistake and a shirt mistake there.
And we've seen some merch like this recently. Wasn't there another one you were telling me about? Like, it wasn't this exact
I think it was like
verbiage?
Pedo Joe, and it was like Joe Biden sniffing a kid or something.
Yeah, it's like you're writing pedophile on your clothes.
Yeah, that's weird.
It just seems kind of weird. Like, yeah, we get it, tough guy. You hate pedophiles. You want to kill them.
Like, you don't kill him.
Yeah.
So you're just saying someone should.
Yeah.
So someone who's not me should. They should die. Like, everyone thinks that.
Have you seen all these Twitch streamers? They catch a pedophile every 2 minutes.
And they beat him up.
And so you easily could, but you don't. And
It's
so
kind of like the lions not sheep, Hardo, same type of thing.
That's what I think.
You know? Lions not sheep. It's like, oh, I'm a lion, not a sheep. Have you seen my shirt? It says I'm a lion.
Yeah. I'm definitely not a pedophile if I have a kill all pedophile shirt, right? Like, I don't know. It's just a little too much.
All right, next, speaking of weird fashion, there was a cruise in Australia where the crew came out in these outfits.
I don't know what happened. Housekeeping.
They're supposed to be dressed as snow cones. But they kind of came out as KKK people.
Yeah, but I mean, KKK, some bad people do something with something once, and then it's banned. If it's appropriately like amplified, then it's banned forever. Elon does that little thing, and then he's a Nazi. These guys are KKK. I don't know. They're probably fucking Filipino cruise ship workers.
Yeah, they're all minorities.
They don't really know.
And as everyone, they're dressed as snow cones, and they kind of got it wrong. And then like some people may be cheering, and it's like,
okay,
oh, snow cones. Yeah.
That's what I was up to.
Yeah, snow cones. All right, our last clip of Cringe. The Philadelphia mayor led an Eagles chant.
Well, listen, we've got to do this. Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Elgses.
That's like a word that you learn on like a typing test. It's just see if you can type it out in like 8th grade.
The mayor, and I don't think she even noticed.
Yeah.
Like she just continued the press conference.
To be fair, I've done that where I've made a mistake or typo and don't even notice, but I definitely know how to spell Eagles if I'm the mayor of Philadelphia.
Especially if it's a chant that everyone says all the time.
I think we've shown something like that before.
I think that's her second time doing it.
It might be her second time. She really can't spell it.
Can't spell Eagles. DEI is canceled. Your job is over.
She's on par with the students of Philadelphia.
All right, our next section is Urban Decay.
What are you doing?
We are moving on. Don't get too down or too depressed. It's going to get a little worse. We're going to Urban Decay. Our first story from Urban Decay is a high school basketball fight.
Look at this thug.
Then it turned into a fight with the parents or his parent.
It didn't really go that long, though. Like, people didn't really fight. They broke it up.
And then he got in trouble for that.
He got charged by the police for I believe 2 counts of simple battery.
Good. And I hope he goes to jail, even if he's 17. Try him as an adult.
Yeah, or get something on the record. You know, I don't think everybody needs to go to jail the first time, but you got to get something on the books. So then the second time, the slap on the wrist turns into a slam on the back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that back is pushing you into a jail cell.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't learn from this time, then when are you going to learn?
Good point.
Also, this kid did the number one thing anybody does when they're a black person committing violence against a lighter-skinned or alternative race. He claimed that one of the kids called him a racial slur. So there's really no point in not making that case after you've impulsively assaulted someone. You kind of always should. That's just how the game is played.
And the cops should listen to that and then not even write that down. And go, okay. And then you punched him. Okay. So you
punched him at the end. Those were words until then.
Yeah.
And then you punched him.
Yeah. Oh, you made a racial slur? That has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
The physical parts where we're investigating.
Yep.
All right, our next story is a woman cop who is pulling someone out of the car and she's trying to remove his gun from his waistband, and look what happens.
Okay. Just put your hands on the top of the vehicle for me. I appreciate it, man. Being very honest. Oh, you're all right. Oh, shit. You okay? Put the gun down. Put the gun down. You okay? No. Hey, rescue 1068. Let's go. Rescue 1068. Hey, man. Walk with me. Walk with me. Go ahead. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
You're fired.
You shouldn't have had a job in the first place, but you do.
And that's one way for him to get his money up, too.
Yeah, that's the 300. What do you think? 300K?
$1 million.
You think $1 million?
Yeah. Shot. Sure. Who knows where he was shot in the groin area?
I think the leg, yeah.
Yeah, millions.
All
and
right.
then she's fired already.
She got fired?
Yeah, immediately. But what was that? You reach into the pocket, and obviously the guy didn't have his safety on, or maybe it was a Glock, whatever, but you're reaching in and you grab the trigger and then you pull it out.
Don't be afraid if you're ever in a situation like this where, most of you won't be, but don't be afraid to find the most militant-looking former Marine guy there and go, can he do it? You know? Not Deb. Anybody but Deb, right?
Yeah, I have a fear of women police.
For sure. We've seen them accidentally pull their gun instead of the taser. We've seen him shoot the guy in the leg while he's complying and getting his gun taken away. We've seen a lot.
The way black people feel about police, I feel about women police.
That's actually brilliant. That's very true.
See how I can connect it all?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So imagine what black people think about women police. They go fucking crazy. And that's Exhibit A right there.
Yeah, that's as bad as it gets.
Damn.
All right, next is a messy burglary story covered by local Fox.
2 suspects are on the run after a messy burglary last month, according to the Polk County Sheriff's Office. Deputies say a pair they nicknamed Mr. Clean and Miss Dookie stole $500 worth of cleaning products from a Family Dollar in Mulberry. The woman distracted employees by using the store's floor as her bathroom, while the man walked around stealing nearly $500 worth of items like Gain, Tide, and Clorox products. Do you recognize these suspects? Visit fox13news.com or download the Fox Local app to learn.
So do you think they've picked straws for those roles?
Yeah, and then they switch off when they go to the Target next door.
Yeah, I'll be the one who casually
I don't want to shit again.
I'll be the one who casually walks out with the cart like no big deal, and then you're the one who's going to shit on the ground in front of everybody.
Hey, it's also good to know that deputies in Polk County are having fun. And then they get to call the news and go, yeah, we're calling him Mr. Clean and Mrs. Dookie.
And they go, okay.
And they hang up. It's like a prank call. It's like, no, that's really what we're calling
They
him.
have to say it.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving.
One more problem. Fox is doing stand-up hits from fucking this lady's home library, and she's got fur on her sweater.
It's local Fox.
What's
Local
that?
Fox is trying to do social media.
Work from home type stuff?
Yeah. She did a good job, but she does have
She's got the news voice, but
cat hair on her sweater.
Yeah, you got cat hair on your sweater. All right. It's not about her.
All right. Next story is about the fentanyl crisis.
Do y'all document how many ODs y'all go throughout the day?
Dude, crazy. When it was heroin, first week of the month. Second week, you slow down. Third week, people beat the shit out of each other. Fourth week, withdrawals. Fentanyl's so goddamn cheap. Oh, and people are drunk now. Because fentanyl's so cheap now, it's all month long.
It's all month long.
Heroin, low income, poverty, 20-year-olds, late teens, once in a while an 40-year-old, once in a while. This fentanyl, teens, 60-year-olds, Pacific Height doctors, down and out in the TL, dude, it is fucking crazy.
Okay.
It's so goddamn cheap.
Wow.
Yeah.
So fentanyl's changing the game, the OD game.
Yeah, and it's this guy. I like a guy like this. He's been around. He's seen it progress. He's got something to say. And yeah, it's completely changed the game. He said it used to be just the first week of the month when people got paid was when heroin ODs went crazy.
And now it's so cheap, it's killing everybody, every age, every type.
That cyclical nature of drugs, it's pretty interesting. And the other part of this is like this guy's obviously San Francisco Fire Department paramedic who comes rolling up, or maybe he's just a fireman. I'm not sure. But like, you know, the old, I'm sure there's an NBC show called like Chicago Fire and Chicago Paramedic. And it's all these cool things where this guy broke his leg and he's pinned under the car. Get him up. And it's just you're getting knotted off fentanyl heads like all day.
Just Narcanning people.
Yeah, it's like it's like a mobile babysitter Narcan delivery system now.
Yeah.
So it takes some of the prestige and the like cool factor way out of a job that should be pretty cool. You should feel good about being a paramedic, but now you're just like knotted off guys folded over on the street, you know?
Yeah, and obviously this goes hand in hand with immigration too. All the fentanyl's coming across the border. And because everyone's on fentanyl, no one's able to be a historical actor anymore.
In Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia. Can you read the headline?
Oh, it says break out the powdered wig. Philly needs historic actors.
So there's no one able to do historic acting, reenactments of the Revolutionary or Civil War because everyone's on fentanyl.
Imagine Benjamin Franklin folded over, just like lean in like that. Crazy.
Or maybe they'll do a DEI revolution. You know,
Netflix Philly.
Filipino Ben Franklin.
Yeah.
Okay, our last story of Urban Decay is this woman on the subway with her boombox. Yeah, so she's baiting someone to say something.
Yeah, I feel like you should be deported.
And then she'll say, it's my speaker, I can do what I want. 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 And then if you say something, then she'll go, or else what? Or else what? Or else what?
Yeah, I have nothing to add.
I can read the future and what a confrontation with her looks like.
I know.
And these types of situations is why the foreigners, the Asians who are a little less sensitive than us, have certain ways of describing bad behavior by certain groups on public transport.
Yeah.
For example,
here's some of them. This is no circus performance here. Japan is not a theme park. They just use a black breakdancer doing that.
And then
here's another one. Please care about people around you. And it's all these loud, some type of primates amongst a nice fox and a polar bear. I don't know who those are supposed to represent. Please have good manners.
I know who the primates are.
And then here's a warning from China. You know, every State Department, every government issues warnings, travel advisories from when people leave and travel to do tourism outside of the country. And here's a Chinese warning about London. It says, London is generally a safe place to travel. However, precautions are needed when entering areas mainly populated by Indians, Pakistanis, and black people. We advise tourists not to go out alone at night, and females always be accompanied by another person when traveling.
Very honest.
That's basically like, they're like, we watched Urban Decay.
We know.
We're the Chinese State Department.
We know what's going on.
Yeah, we know what's up.
All right, well, that's the end of Urban Decay. We're now moving on to Uplifting Gold. All right, Uplifting Gold. We have uplifting stuff this week.
Are you sure?
A little bit.
Okay.
First is, the door-to-door salesman, the Andy Elliott people.
Yeah.
We obviously been cooking them for the last few weeks. Here's a guy who is tired of it.
Hello.
Yeah.
How's it going?
What do you need?
My name's Nick. I was just helping a couple people. I can show you real quick. And then I got to run back, but we're just washing all the windows and then the frames and all the sills. I'm just giving a bit of a deal just because I'm trying to fill my afternoon.
No, thanks, son.
Sure. Yeah, I can, if you want, I can just count up the windows, give you a quick price, just so you kind of know.
Don't need it. Thanks
Just
a lot.
totally not interested?
No.
Do you kind of do it yourself or just...
Get the fuck out of here before I kick your ass.
Okay, I was just asking
Get
about the windows.
the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Now.
Okay. Have a good one, sir.
And then after, he's like, this is what you have to deal with in sales. It's not easy.
It's like, just take no for an answer the first time.
The guy said no 4 times. He has no shirt on.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You know what's a good tip to do that? Just say I'm a renter. Just say I'm a renter. You can own the house, and if a door-to-door sales... Well, the no soliciting sign, A. And then B, I rent. And you could be like a 50-year-old man with like 3 cars in the driveway. And you just go, I'm a renter. Then they fucking leave.
All right, our next Uplifting Gold piece. By the end of February 2025, all Steak and Shake locations will use 100% all-natural beef tallow.
Yeah, great.
That's great. That's a win.
I actually like Steak and Shake in their fries.
And
their little tiny fries, those crispy boys, and you get a patty melt, a Frisco melt.
Yeah.
He knows about Frisco melt.
I know.
Diaper Boy knows about Frisco melt.
I know about Frisco melt. Rat Boy and I are planning our first cheat meal.
Yeah.
We've been doing keto OMAD. We're going to do it for like 3 or 4 full weeks, and then we're doing a cheat meal. Rat Boy wants donuts.
I'm going to get jelly donuts, Philly cheesesteak, some crazy shit. I'm going to go crazy. I might crack like 8,000 calories that day.
I'm doing 1 large cheese pizza.
Kevin McAllister special.
Kevin McAllister special. I can't wait. All right. What's this next thing?
Some dancing in Antarctica stuff?
Yep. This ballerina is in Antarctica. Can't play the music, but there's nice music in the background. Isn't that nice? Isn't that cool? That's art. That's something. That's uplifting. It's uplifting. That's what I call it.
What do you call the piece of the ship that they're on?
The hull.
Is that the hull?
Might be. All right, boat people, let us know what you call that.
It's like an icebreaker.
It's a boat's pecker.
Yeah, it's a boat's cack. All right.
All right. Next, this is a pretty cool optical illusion. All right. I actually...
Take your back?
Yeah.
A little gay?
Well, I thought they were flipping their legs. I thought the red jacket guy was with the red legs.
No.
And then the green was the green. And then they were like interwoven. That's just 2 guys carrying each other around.
Yeah, and they have the opposite. They have the inverse outfits on, yeah.
I thought it was like a leg thing. We're like, oh, you use my legs and I use your legs.
Gotcha. So you wasted everyone's time again.
Yeah, that was a useless clip. Okay. Next is a guy who was stabbed And while he's talking to the police, trying to gain and remain conscious, listen to what he says.
And this is from that old river stabbing video in Wisconsin. Remember the 5 kids got stabbed?
Yeah, I have his head. He's getting so Hey, AJ, come on, man. 4506 dispatch, I could use a couple cops over here. I walked down the river, I got 2 stab wounds, hospital 79s. He's up. Yeah, let's keep talking, brother. Where do you live? Okay, what's your birthday? Who's the president, man? Okay, what's the president? Okay, Joe Biden. Okay, what did he do? In the past 2 years, what did he do? Hold on, man. Nice, man. Okay, he's good. He's got his humor.
So even in his final moments, what did Joe Biden do in the past 2 years? He just goes, nothing.
Yeah.
Your dying words are about Joe Biden sucking.
And that guy survived, so good.
Good. Yeah. And if he's a show watcher somehow, we'll send you a bunch of shirts.
Yeah.
All right, our last clip of Uplifting Gold before our shout-outs.
Nashville, would you like a ride, son? Homemade speaker and a flatbed, baby. Let's get it, son. Sat down in the front seat. Turn on the radio.
That's nice.
That's the Dr. Peppers before the beers.
Yeah, country kids start dipping soon.
Oh, that's coming quick. They've done it once in their friend's basement. He's got an older brother.
They got dizzy.
He's 16. I got dizzy. Mike puked.
Yeah.
But
well, that's the end of our Uplifting Gold. We have some shout-outs, though. Happy birthday to Nick Newth, who turned 41 this week. He and his wife, Kendra, love the show. Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday to Latifah Keneally on 1/18, January 18th. They watch the show religiously, her and her husband, Lord James. Very nice. Happy birthday to Alistair.
I didn't know we had too many Latifah watchers.
That's one of our only ones.
That's our only one, I'm assuming. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Alistair on January 19th.
Okay.
Him and Tess, his wife, they love to watch the show, and they watch every single episode.
Happy birthday.
It's very nice. Happy birthday to Alexander on January 19th. Jessica and him and their newborn watch every episode, so we have 3 show watchers.
Separate devices?
On one device, it sounds like.
Wow.
So I don't know how to fully comprehend that.
That's okay. Our views are actually great. Our views are much better.
100,000 views is probably...
What do you think, 1.2 people per screen?
Yeah,
1.3?
1.3.
Yeah.
Especially with people coming in and out.
Of course.
Let us know how you guys do it. A happy birthday to Dana on January 22nd.
Happy birthday, Dana.
Yep, I promised her I'd take the most time on this one, and to the point where it would annoy you. But instead of doing that,
let's eat some clock. I don't care. I'm here.
I'm just going to explain the bit.
Okay.
And then happy birthday to Steven on January 22nd. He's an RRB type. We actually have a video of him here.
This guy?
Yeah, he's an RRB type. It's his birthday. He looks like you.
Thank you,
Glasses.
Steven. Yeah, he you know.
He'd knock you out.
No. Steven, how tall are you, first off?
Let us know.
We'll get some extra information, and then we'll determine who's knocking
What's your
who out.
wingspan? Ratboy 6'3".
Forearms are good. He's looking pretty vascular. I'm not insulting him,
Yeah.
but I'm just not accepting that I'd get knocked out. You understand that, Steven.
No one should ever.
If you're an RRB type, you understand that, Steven.
He gets it. Yeah. Happy birthday to Taylor, who is a man, on January 24th. It's his 34th birthday.
Not your best day today.
34 RD. 34th birthday.
Now you're disrespecting Taylor. Happy birthday, Taylor.
Happy birthday, Taylor. You're a man. You're not. It's not a girl's name.
There you go.
And happy birthday to Bruce on January 24th. And he's been watching since the Man in the Street days with Haley.
That's great, Bruce.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
And then we have Sage Gott. He is a boxer who was in a boxing match a few days ago, and he won. We actually have a clip. There's a video of him punching somebody, and he's wearing the Clinton shirt.
That's a nice outfit choice.
Ooh,
good
got
right.
him. That was sick.
Strong right.
He's wearing the Clinton shirt, which is available on fleckusmerch.com. That was very cool. Sage, love to see it. Show watcher, strong man.
Very
we love
good.
you. And then over the weekend, was it the weekend? I don't know what day it is, but last weekend, I met up with some show watchers, Chris and his lovely wife and their 3 great kids, their 3 sons. Very cool people from Georgia. They were super nice. They came down to St. Pete. I met them for lunch. And then Chris gave me this fan. As you can see in the picture here, he refurbishes antique fans and he makes them like perfect and gets them back to working order. He gave me one pre-World War II. Super cool. His Instagram is @fansofthepast.
I like that.
Yeah,
It's good Americana. And those fans are built different. That's like a built to last type fan.
Yeah.
So if you spruce it up, it'll go until like 2134.
Exactly. And then we talked about in the show how like there's certain types of autism. Like some people like rocks and they know every rock. Some people are like a park ranger and they know every animal.
They start categorizing bugs and stuff.
He told me that his autism is like the fans. He loves the fans. He refurbishes them. He goes to Facebook Marketplace and gets them and makes them all better. And his house and garage are like full of the fans.
It's a fan man.
So @fansofthepast on Instagram, you can probably buy some there, support him. It's super cool stuff.
That's awesome.
I have mine already kind of in a spot.
Yep.
And then his wife, who's also very lovely, she made custom cookies for us.
Where are they?
Which I have right here. We haven't eaten them yet because we're going to save them for the feast meal. But look what we got here. Ratboy, show this one. Show yours. Fleckus Talks the podcast. Sick.
The Ratboy logo?
Jerry the Rottweiler. Sick. Based. Sick.
There you go.
Fleckus Talks the logo. Sick. So she does super cool work. Her Instagram is @PurplePelicanCustoms on Instagram. It's all linked in the description for both of them. She does custom cookies. They're fantastic. Super well done. Episode 1000. I'm going to save it for that day. Very cool.
You're eating a 2-year-old cookie. Episode 1000.
But these are super cool. They were great gifts. Follow them and play. I don't know if I think you can place orders. So, support them and get some cookies if you're looking for custom cookies. They were super cool.
I really want to eat this right now.
Me too. But we're going to save it for our feast day. And that's the end of the episode. That's the end of our shout outs. Thank you guys for watching. Another Fleckus Talks in the books. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleckusTalks.com for Bonus Land that comes back Tuesday. And then the episode from Tuesday past is on Bonus Land right now. Please go sign up. Have a nice weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, and queer.
Get the fuck out of here before I kick your ass.